On this week's podcast, we speak with Swire Ho, the promo guy. He's born and raised in Hong Kong, and Swire immigrated to Los Angeles in 1996. He is a proud Chinese American who speaks Cantonese and Mandarin and English, and he's trained as a sound engineer, working at record studios and entertainment agencies before starting his own firm, Hellman Productions, Inc. in 2003 in Los Angeles. Swire and his team successfully produced attractive, personalized DVD and CD cases and custom merchandise like T-shirts and all kinds of fun things that way. And he earned a SCORE award in 2009 for small business success. His business eventually grew so popular, he decided to sell Hellman in 2013 to focus exclusively on the promotional product industry. Now he partners with Guardar Promo, and he's going to tell us what swag means. And we're going to find out some fun, cool things and some ideas of what you can do, especially during this pandemic or post-pandemic even. And you're still doing Zoom meetings and all the things that you're doing, streaming, that kind of thing, and what we can do with promo items to help keep our brands in front of our audience and keeping our employees engaged and all the things that we want to do during this interesting time that we're in, right? But before I get to that, I want to share with you about DoorDash. DoorDash is doing some pretty cool things right now. They've gone public. They're donating money to nonprofits as a part of their Give Back program. But if you have never been a DoorDash user and you want dinner tonight, I can help you with that. I can give you $10 off of each of your first 3 DoorDash orders over $15 when you sign up with my link that you will get. It's for new customers only, but DoorDash is really a great way to support your local restaurants with safe, no contact delivery. And once again, get $30 off or $10 each of your first 3 orders when you sign up. Go to peppershock.com/offers and find the DoorDash link there. So peppershock.com/offers will get you there. And DoorDash has just been great, especially, when you're in a hurry, you just don't have time to cook dinner or you got lots going on. Use the DoorDash app and it will help save you and your local restaurants. Okay, now it's time for a marketing essentials moment with me, Ray Allen. I want to share with you some thoughts about what's going to move forward through this pandemic that I think people will continue to do as a result of what happened during the pandemic. Some things that you've learned along the way that you can carry forward. And just a reminder of what that looks like. We want to focus on the customers that we already have. We want to continue to retain them. Despite the economic downturn, we want to see how we can work with them. And maybe they're struggling. Maybe they're doing great, right? What could you do to continue to focus on the customers you already have, as well as bringing in new customers, right? But if you can still continue to call back to the ones that have been with you since the start, before COVID, before COVID, right? The loyal customers who have been there for you through all of it. I would suggest making sure that you focus on those that you already have. And then again, working on the new ones too, and asking for referrals. I think that that's a great way to continue to help build your client base by asking referrals from the previous ones. I mean, it seems common that we should just automatically know to ask for referrals, but sometimes we forget to do that. And sometimes it has to be a little uncomfortable to do that. And I'm just going to challenge you to get comfortable with the uncomfortable and ask for referrals. Pick up the phone and call people and ask them for, ways that you can help accelerate word of mouth advertising, because we all know that word of mouth advertising is the number one way to get your message out there. Well, encourage people to talk about you. Encourage them to give you kudos when kudos are out there, right? You can get rankings, ratings, reviews, rewarded, and recommendations and endorsements and all the things that are helpful to you. So that's my marketing essentials moment by Ray. Without further ado, let's get into the podcast with Swire Ho, the promo guy.
Welcome to Peppershock Media's Marketing Expedition podcast, keeping you up to date with the latest in marketing and advertising. Now here's your host, Ray Allen.
Welcome to the Marketing Expedition podcast. I'm your host, Ray Allen, president and CEO of Peppershock Media and founder of the Marketing Expedition community. And today I found my guest off of Podbooking, a new website that's pretty awesome that connects people that want to be on podcasts who have podcasts and vice versa. And so let's welcome Swire Ho. Welcome, Swire.
Thank you for having me on your show, Ray. It's nice to connect with you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's just give everybody a little bit of a background of who you are, where you came from, what you do, and Swire Ho, the promo guy, right?
Yeah, I have a kind of unusual first name. So sometimes people will call me and they pause and, without doing that. That's why I gave myself the hashtag, the promo guy, so people remember it. And as the name could kind of hint for it, I'm in the promotional product business. So my approach is a little different than most. When people think of our industry, they think about the word swag. It's actually stand for stuff we all get. And actually, yeah, I actually don't use that. We wanted to ask the question, why, who are you marketing? Who are you trying to impress or make an impression? The ultimate goal for promotional product is we hope to turn our customers' client into brands advocates so that they will willingly engage, refer, and marketing their product and services without you even telling them to do so.
Right. I've also heard it as like trinkets and trash and tchotchkes and things like that. Right. And so I didn't never know what swag stood for. So stuff we all get. That's pretty cool.
Yes. I looked it up before.
I didn't realize that. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about some of the people that you've helped in building their brands with the swag, as the promotional products and things that you do. Tell me about some stories or some incidents that have helped your clients.
So right now the trend is changing. Before the pandemic, we normally help a lot of people who attend trade shows. They have maybe a luncheon, so they will give them giveaways to after the event. But now there's no trade show, there's no event gathering. So we have a lot of conversation with our client right now. We discount the effectiveness for direct mailing. Now direct mailing is making a comeback. Right. So for a lot of jobs that we have done in the past few months, all of them are free drop shipping. So imagine that you're having an event, you're having a conference on Zoom. Sometimes we lose people interest because it's on a computer. After like 15 minutes, we start to click away, check an email, check a Facebook, whatever that we do. But
I've never done that before. Nope, not me.
not the listener of the show.
Sorry, I kept going. So you can have stuff drop shipped to your
For example, if they are registered to attend your conference, your workshop, then you can present them some giveaways, and something good way to do would be fun games that you could play to engage with them. So they know that the host and the speaker will call on them while he is presenting, because the key to success is you don't want to lose the people. Right. Kind of like when you have kids in the school, like the teacher will have them jump around every 15, 20 minutes just to keep them engaged. And they know that they have to be answering some questions. So by having a dropship kit, we actually enhance your Zoom webinar and presentation experience.
I love that dropship kit. You have to be careful of saying that. Awesome. So what got you into this industry, Swire? What was the kind of the impetus that got you to where you are with what you're doing now?
Well, you don't get into promotional product by attending a school or things like that. I came here kind of like on the path. On my first business, I was in CD and DVD replication. If you're old enough to remember those, it used to be popular. So we work with a lot of clients in entertainment industry, record labels, film companies. And along the way, when they go on tour, they ask, do you guys do t-shirt and merchandise that we can sell when we go to different cities? Or filmmakers would say, we're having a premiere. Do you do give backs? We kind of got into it. And at 2013, we sold the CD DVD part of the business to a local competitor. And now we're just focusing on promotional product business because, I like the creativity of it. And there's always someone who wants to put their logo to promote themselves.
Right. That's probably a smart idea. Not a lot of people use CDs and DVDs and, remember the little mini discs that we used to use? Yeah, we had those too. But yeah, now it's all streaming, right? Everybody just does video
Yeah.
on demand and all of that kind of thing. But you're right. People like t-shirts. They like the things that they get at the trade shows and then they collect and then their brand is right in front of them, right? Right now I'm looking, I have a little duster thing that, to sweep off, and that's a brand. I've got like all these things on my desk. I have, a coaster, all these things that have logos on them and just different things, right? Oh, this is fun. I have a phone holder, right? So all of these things, these are things that you can do, right?
Yeah, I would ask them kind of like your example you just showed me, right? Is who are your target audience? Are they behind a desk like yourself? So if so, I would recommend something that goes around your desk that you don't already have that you would use,
Right.
right? And in your industry, before you start working with a client, I'm sure that you ask them a bunch of questions. If they want to develop a website, for example, if they want to do video marketing, so you ask them, who do you want to target so you can help them differently. However, when people come to my business, they would say, I just want to buy this for me. I like it.
Uh-huh.
And when I ask them, who do you trying to target? Who you
Uh-huh.
really want to relay this promotional product to? They say they didn't think of that. So I think
Right.
as marketer who are listening to this show, the same principle for target marketing works in promotional product.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right, right. And I like to have these things in front of me where it's like it makes it convenient. Like my little cell phone holder that was given to me from Adobe Max when I was there. It reminds me of the moments that I actually got to go to that event and see it. But now, like you said, we're in pandemic mode, and so if I wanted to drop ship something to my guests on the podcast, for example, I could just say, okay, Swire, I want to send out my care package, if you will, to as a thank you, right? Tell me what would that process look like? How could I do it? How often? What am I looking at if I wanted to do something like that?
There are actually a couple of different scenarios where we can do that. I also noticed uh, on LinkedIn, a lot of my contact are switching jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine that a lot of us are working from home. We're
Right.
not with our team constantly. There are a lot of headhunters going after the good people. And then if you
Yeah.
work from home in California, where I am, you can now work for a company in New York or anywhere in the world. So by changing that, HR department are scrambling how to keep their best employees to be happy. So you can actually send another type of care package to all your employees, make sure that you're still part of the team, we still
Yeah.
value you. And then on your morning huddle, you can actually have something that, all wear and you feel you're still being part of a team. So there are actually a lot of trending kind of thing we are developing with our client because we are changing as we speak.
Right, right. Oh, that's a great idea to send people all the same shirt to wear or a backpack or something or coffee mugs, right? That's
Mhm.
always in front of me. And then to employee appreciation and thank you gifts and clients too. You want to, because we're meeting with clients across the country now too, and in Zoom meetings and whatnot. So that's another idea, right? To send to your clients too.
Mhm. For example, like on your podcast, you mentioned that starting a podcast, right, is important,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
then you obviously want good quality guests to be on the show. Imagine when you pitch to someone really famous, to be on
Yeah.
the show, present them a mic and things that could get them ready for your show.
Oh
Then they'll
yeah.
be impressed and they'll be ready. And then they actually have the right equipment to be on your show and sound great. So we actually up leveling their ability. They want more of their influence. So that way, for us to reach, before we reach out to a prospect, we make an impression and then we follow up on it. That will help, in terms of if in sales or if you are trying to make a better connection,
Mm-hmm.
virtually.
Right, right. No, that's a great idea to send them all the gear that they need. In fact, I did a speaking engagement and they sent me this headset and I did like an unboxing video and just, talked about this headset that I have on and it, has the microphone attached to it and everything. And then
Mhm.
they sent me some gear and some lighting and all that. So it's that it was kind of a fun memory to get that from them and say, oh yeah, that's right. I did get something of that nature right before I spoke at this conference and as a way to say thank you. And then I was surprised afterwards and said, no, you get to keep it. Right? So, okay, what is the, I guess, funnest, sort of quirkiest, craziest promotional item that comes to mind that you have worked on or have helped somebody do before?
Well, actually, it's starting you something that I read and it's very trending right now. I didn't do that, but I think it's a good example. We all know about the Bernie mittens, right? We have
Yes,
seen it. We have
yes.
seen memes about that.
Oh my
And
gosh,
actually,
yes.
there's a backstory to it. The person who actually gave Bernie this mittens,
Uh-huh.
she's a school teacher in Vermont. Her name is Jen Alice.
Uh-huh.
She actually handmade the mittens and gave it to Bernie Sanders. And
Wow.
now what she's doing, she's created 2 fundraising campaign. If you want to look, they're still on eBay right now. She does 2 extra mittens to help support for donation for nonprofit. One is going for 1,900 right now. The other one is going for 3,700. It's still on eBay today if you want to look at it.
Yeah.
So these are smart way to capture on the trend, and she's quick enough to react to it. And then sometimes if we pay attention to the trend that are surrounding our industry, that's when the good idea comes. And then because I have access to 5,000 items, and I could
Wow.
also do custom product. The more that you could tell us and share with me what your industry are doing, what are trending that relate to your target audience, the better I can help you.
Right. And that is really cool. And that's the key too, is understanding the audience and what they want from you or what they may need from you. I one time got this really cool little pouch that had a little zipper, and then it had all the different types of phone connectors that you could have ever imagined. And it, interchanges them out. And then it had a little eyeglass cleaner or, lens cloth for your phone with a little keychain on it. And I still have it and I still use it. Right. And so just those thoughtful things. It's got the logo on it of the company that gave it to me, Mobility Help Desk, if you must know. But yeah, see, I remember who it is. And that's the key. Right. But there's always things that you end up with that you're just like, I do not need one more of a coffee mug, or I don't need one more, I don't know. But I love Post-it notes too. Post-it notes are my favorite. I can't go anywhere without Post-it notes, right? So those are logoed Pepper Shock logo on ours. Anyway, I just think it's a great way. Oh, and a mouse pad. I mean, there's so many, like you said, 5,000 items, right? What do you think is the most common thing that people give or do?
Right now with the trend, it's all about face masks, and it's all about not touching other object, right? So they're popular and people turn them into kind of like very visual. You wear it on your face. It's, people would like to see your logo. But going back to the fact that, how the best if we can do it is you want to buy a promotional product to give people a taste of the actual experience. What does that mean is if you say my mission is to become eco-friendly, my mission is to be luxury, or for whatever that your message statement will be, can that promotional product relate to your company brand and messages?
Right.
So that would be the key to success, because I'm proud myself to be eco-friendly. I won't send you something that wrapped in 5 layers of plastic. We have done campaign that my client have to force me to have wood packaging, everything eco-friendly.
Nice.
All my packaging material has to be able to decompose. And then they go really far and then they relay the message completely because they're eco-friendly, they're organic. And, you have to keep thinking in that, so it fits into your branding.
You're right. I mean, I think of all of the packaging that we're using right now by working from home, the shipments from Amazon and wherever they're coming from. I mean, I just see so much boxes and paper and plastic wrap and the meal delivery services and all the things that they're wrapping in. You're right. To be eco-friendly is certainly going to be something that I think would be attractive to people who want to look at that and say, oh yeah, that means something, right? Yeah. So what are some things that you do to help promote your business?
Well, I do a lot of networking, before pandemic and, since during pandemic, because I believe that as a person, as a company, there are only so much that I can do with our company. But if I have partners who we are able to go after a bigger order, then we could all benefit each other. For example, a natural referral partner that I like to work with is designer. So they may also be event planners, or they might be branding and marketing company. We all have the same mutual client, but then we really don't compete with each other. So I believe in give us gain. So I do a lot of networking, day in, day out.
Good. And how have you been able to network during the pandemic where we can't go to events? You're locked down in California. You can't go anywhere. What kind of things have you been doing, Swire, to help kind of, get your name out there, get in front of people, network? What's working for you?
I think I also do a little live streaming show called the Small Business Show. So one of the ways I think everyone could consider if you're doing B2B is to apply for a LinkedIn Live privilege. It's still invitation only, so you have to prove them your content is relevant to the LinkedIn audience. But then it's really focused because I connected with my clients on LinkedIn. In my prospect are on LinkedIn, suppliers, people I know from Chamber of Commerce are all on LinkedIn. And if I'm able to create the content that people are striving for, I have their attention because people go onto LinkedIn, think about business. If it's relate to your contact base, then you do, on LinkedIn. Or if my audience is on Facebook or Instagram, go to where my clients consume their information. And then I want to be there and then to give them the content that they're striving for.
No, that's a really great idea. And I had to write that one down. Get LinkedIn privilege to do live. I know I can do LinkedIn, but I can only do 10 minutes and then I get cut off.
Yeah, if you do live, there's not really a limit. I think I've been, at least an hour and a half.
Nice. So I'll take your advice on that. I'll have to expand it and maybe we'll do the Marketing Expedition virtual LinkedIn show or something. We'll figure something out. That's great. And we'll have to have me on that show too on LinkedIn, right? Okay. So of the things that you've seen that you've helped people do, what have you seen that has not worked, that has been just a complete fail and flop so that others can avoid from having that happen again? What's something that you've seen that's just like, oh, what were they thinking? Why did they do that?
I think we have to be picky when we choose the item. Again, people wanted to market to everyone just because I have a pen, I have to give it to everyone. You don't, when we do marketing, when you do, for example, Google AdWords, you focus on the keyword, you focus on where it is, who you want to target, and you don't spend money on other things that are not related to you. And you can do that in promotional product. And then when you do a product, think about, does the audience want to receive that? I know you're buying a tote bag, you're buying a pen, right? You're paying money. You don't have to put your company name, your phone number, your address, your certification on it. Like no one wants to get a big logo from other company, unless you're like Nike or Patagonia, right? Think about like a clever message, things that like the example that you gave me, Ray, something that's smart that you actually use. And when the conference send you the headphone, you actually do the unboxing. You're actually speaking on behalf of them without them telling you to do so because you're so happy and impressed with what they sent you. So, think about, not everyone should get that. Only the selective people should be able to have that experience because they are your target audience.
I should probably plug the name of the company that sent me the headset since I'm wearing it now too. You reminded me because I have the box here. It's it's MPOW, MPOW, and then their tagline is Dream, Explore, Inspire, Wired Computer Headset. Anyway, you're right. I had to I should probably mention that and share that because they sent it to me. So where do you see the future? I mean, BC before COVID, we were able to do all these networking things, but what about post-COVID? What's going to happen? Where's the future going? Do you see some things that have happened during pandemic carrying forward? What are those things? What's going to happen in your industry, do you think?
I think networking is still happening, and I would encourage anyone listening to do now. Now you can go to any networking meeting that you want. If you speak English, you could probably go anywhere in the world. You can go to the East Coast, and you could attend networking meeting all around the world if you choose. And in our industry, we hope the event and trade show industry will come back, but then it looks like it's going to go on a hybrid. We're going to get an online experience, but then think about how you make an impact and how do you engage with your audience. And then in our industry, I think the dropship kits, does work. And then also it's more now depending on the brand and, us helping to find the item that resonate with the audience, because people like to become a part of a brand, but then only if they relate and then they like the messages that behind your company. So have those ready before you wanted to take it out and to market to everyone.
Right. No, that's great. What are some maybe popular apps and tools and things that you use in your industry that you could share with others that might be helpful or useful? Or what are some things that you use? What kind of technologies or convenience tools do you use?
Well, I like to use free tools. That's something that I'll always do if I exhaust and I have to get premium service. I do. I think a tools I've been using is called Calendly. So they actually schedule for my calendar. Now instead of 5 emails going back and forth, I share the link. These are the times that I'm available. Then just book me. And I think it solved a lot of problem and going back and forth. And I think because now we are so comfortable with Zoom and we all have a webcam set up, we have a headset set up, then I could really go after anyone that we wanted to. I'm not limited to my local area. And then, if we talk about a smaller business, now you have the advantage. Let's assume that, you want 100 people to attend your conference. Normally, that will mean booking a hotel location, catering, sound check, whatever that cost will be. But right now, you could book 100 people in the Zoom room. Your cost is very low. And then if you really have good product and services, then you're able to do a lot more business than what you used to in the physical terms. So that's actually advantage there.
Yeah, I think there's definitely going to be some carry forward with Zoom rooms and hybrid events, like you said. What are some other podcasts that you like to listen to or that you subscribe to or follow?
I like fitness, so I listen to a lot of fitness, podcasts, and I especially like Tim Ferriss because he is diverse. He have interesting guests coming on, and then I actually learned that from his podcast. He actually sent a microphone to all of his guests.
That's great.
So he used a certain microphone. He know how it sounds. So I think this is another good way. If we want people to take us more seriously, it's we are doing our research. We are valuable their time, and then as a host, that the better the guest that you can have on your show, the better engagement will be as a podcast.
Absolutely. It's always fun to get the people on the show and then they spread it and share it and it, helps with views and all that. But then it also just helps carry forward the educational component and helping people, in our case, build brands and bottom lines. That's what we want to do. And same for you. It's like, how can you help people get out there? And like you said, you said you believe in the giver serving mentality too. So I think that's awesome. So I guess because we are going on this marketing journey together in the marketing expedition, I want to know, what are some things that you have accomplished that you're proud of in terms of marketing and how you've gotten to where you are now with what you're doing now? What are some things you're proud of?
Because I'm the kind of person who are always curious and take you back to the last company, Hellman Production. We're in a competitive space. We're in LA, a lot of companies obviously target the entertainment industry. We looked at how we're able to stand out as a company. So we found out that people are getting sick of the plastic box and the jewel case at that time. So we actually found a supplier overseas that actually do custom packaging. If you see those trifold, if you see the original packaging that when you buy a box set DVD, you get a toy. We have a lot of ideas in there. There are also companies that do eco-friendly type documentary, and they don't like plastic actually. So we actually came up with a post-consumer waste material. We put all the packaging in a cardboard box that are recyclable, and then it becomes really popular. So I think my take in marketing is always find out something that people like, but they haven't found the option yet. If you're able to find them the option, then you're the only company they would like to work with.
That's awesome. No, that's very creative too, and innovative, right? To be able to address that and make sure that what's happening is what your client wants. That's really good. Okay. So what are some ways that people can get in touch with you if they wanted to get some promotional items or swag, stuff we always get? How do they get a hold of you, Swire?
They could go to our website at garudapromo.com, or if you want to learn more about what we do, you'll Google my name and the hashtag Swire Ho, hashtag the promo guy. Then, you see some of the things that we did. And also, I would like to learn more about what people do, and then we could provide different options. And, I like to learn about the trend in different industry. So whenever that I have other people who are in similar situation, that I could suggest something that work on other industry. Maybe people haven't seen that in your industry. So I like to do mix and matches to get them out there to really promote them. That's why I call myself the promo guy.
Right. No, I think that's smart for sure. And I mean, you said that you can work with people overseas too to get custom packaging. That's because you can speak more than one language, right?
Yeah, it's lucky that I'm born and raised in Hong Kong. I speak Cantonese and Mandarin. And I like to joke myself sometimes. I'm the modern age Marco Polo, right?
Oh, okay.
But if we are still in business today, I'll probably get him out of business because I can ship within a week to 2 weeks. And it take him years to get the product. But then
right.
The idea is the same. We find product that people have not seen before that are interesting to them. If I'm able to show you that, then you'll be happy and you buy the product that I have. That's kind of like a merchant type mentality.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. My husband has a company with some partners, and it's Dude Jellies. So they're the jelly shoes that the Big Lebowski wears. And so they worked out an agreement and they get the Dude Jellies. DudeJellies.com. There's a nice little plug for them. But yeah, working through that and discovering and working with people, because it really truly is international. I mean, we can work with people all over the world now. And I love that you have the ability to work and negotiate and speak the languages that can sometimes be a barrier, right? And so do you oftentimes work with others to help kind of overcome that barrier?
Yeah, I do, because Google Translate only take you so far. You have to, obviously there's a cultural difference. They also, when we do business, there are ways that, doing both ways are, sometimes they get into miscommunication. Is because they try to mean something, but then when you translate it doesn't mean the same way in another language. So sometimes, I work with the creative, and then I work with the factory. Factory doesn't speak creative, and vice versa. And sometimes we have the money guy in there too, with the accounting department. So it's
right.
My job is to make sure that everyone is happy. I'm seeing the vision of what people want to do, and then I'll make it happen.
That's great. Well, I certainly can see why people would want to use your services. You can be an advocate on all sides of the equation. That's awesome. Well, Swire, any other last parting thoughts that you'd like to share with our audience on this journey that we're going on together today?
Well, I think reach out, network, and then don't be afraid to try something new.
Right. Excellent. Thank you so much, Swire, for coming on the show today, and we'll be able to share all your information as well.
Thank you, Ray.
All righty. And for our listeners, thank you again for listening to the show. And of course, I always want to encourage you to leave some reviews and share this with others that you know. And until next time, enjoy the journey.
Thanks for listening to the Marketing Expedition podcast. Find more online at peppershock.com. Wouldn't it be great if there was one place you can go to get all the latest information and tips about marketing and advertising? The Marketing Expedition community is that place. People like you gather in our online community to build relationships with others and find the latest marketing trends, tactics, tools, and technology. We help you build your brand and your bottom line. Start your adventure today. Visit themarketingexpedition.com to find out more.